Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe, with my co host, Cantu, on the other side. The weekend is finally complete. Brand new work week. Angel, how was your weekend?
Good, good. I went to go play some ball finally. Then what did we do?
You're back on the grind.
Yeah, we're back on the grind. School's back too. Baseball grind too. What did we do? Oh, we went to the. I can't believe I forgot. We went to the soccer game. Uh, the Tigres versus Inter Miami. My wife and I. Uh, Shout out to our Skina for getting sweet tickets to that. And then we got the hospitality pass. So like a buffet before, and then they had food at the suite, free drinks everywhere. It's pretty good.
Nice. Sounds like you had a great time. What position you're playing back in baseball? Last time we got an update, you were catching. Are we still catching? We got the gear on still, or what?
No, I didn't catch this time. I played right field and second base.
Right field and second. Look at you being the utility man. Ladies and
Absolutely.
gentlemen, he could catch. He can go the outfield. Shit, you might need another pitcher. He's there. He's
No,
right there.
I'm retired. I'm retired
Oh,
from
you
pitching.
retired from pitching ever since
If
hurting your arm.
if I pitch, I'm gonna be out for like 3 months.
What do you think you could top out at?
Not a lot. Probably like high 70s.
High 70s? What, you're like a 79, 77 maybe?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Not bad. After that, you're probably putting an ice pack on your arm the whole week, right?
The whole month. What about your weekend? How was yours?
It was good. Good. Just baseball, family as well. Pretty much that was really about my weekend. Just been busy and being on the grind pretty much, getting ready for the work week.
Nice, 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 nice. I heard it was your mother-in-law's birthday.
Yes. It was her
How
birthday. We went out to eat for that, and yeah, it was good. Like I said, good to be around family and just all smiles and laughs and just talking, just talking.
would y'all give her?
What did we get? We gave her. I think we just gave her money. Keep it simple. We don't have to go too big or too small. Something just right in the middle that she's gonna like. And who can say no to money?
I see. I prefer that because at the times, like I don't know what I want, and I can just spend it on whatever.
Exactly. You could go to the mall and go buy some shoes. You could go, buy a purse. Shoot, you can even save the money to go, put some gas, food.
Yeah.
It's the
Say
beauty
what's
of
up. Yeah.
That's the beauty of something with the dollars. But episode 202 is here. Astros stung by the Rays. I think this was more of a frustrating series for the Astros.
Absolutely.
I think, in my opinion, because there were a bunch of these games right here, at least in these three, it was all decided almost by a run. If you go into game two, Taylor Scott and Caleb Ferguson, who did make his Astros debut as well, gave up some long balls. But if you look at it, it was kind of like 344. I want to say one of them was 359. I mean, they weren't hit hard. So it's kind of like Minute Maid Park usual, just the home run, like 4 out of 30 ballparks in Minute Maid Yankee Stadium being like the biggest ones when it comes to the short porch and left and right. But I mean, the offensive production, which we have on our little objective side right there, it was just not there, man. It was just the Astros are kind of like in a slump right now offensively. Starting pitcher was really good. Since we're talking about that real quick, recap that Rays series, phenomenal start pitching, no offensive production. Who's invited to the Carne Asada Silver Boot series because this is the last Silver Boot series between the Rangers and Astros for this season. It will be concluded in this series at Globe Life Field. Talk about that pitching preview train station with some injury news. Rafael Montero is accepting the offer to go to Sugarland and a little bit of around the horn. But like I said, Angel, I mean, I think my one word for this series is going to be frustrating. The Astros had
Yeah.
opportunities and just really couldn't get done.
Yeah. Just credit to that race pitching staff. Like they're one of the teams that are not afraid to be in those bullpen games or those starter where they have a bullpen starting off and they're bringing the pitcher. I think they like that. They do really good. Like with game plans, with setting, getting hitters out, and that was a good example there. That 1-0 game, there was only 3 hits that game, two by Jordan Alvarez and one by Yainer Diaz. That was pretty much it. And the game before that, 5 hits. It's like they know how to get guys out on the other side, and the Astros just did not take advantage of the uh of of the little opportunities they did have with runners in scoring position. And I think it was a frustrating game offensively for them because the pitchers did what they needed to do. I mean, three great outings by uh, Yusei, Ronel, and Spencer, but just the offense couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, starting pitching was phenomenal. Even the bullpen, there was some, you take away that Taylor Scott home run, like I said, and Caleb Ferguson's outing. I mean, it wasn't, um, you know, it is what it is. But we got some folks in the comments already. Joshua, as always, what's going on? Josh Blackie, yo, 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 what's going on? A little comment right there. Pena needs to play cricket the way he swings at everything in the dirt. Little off speed's kind of hurting him a little bit lately. And then Javier Gonzalez, hey brother, take a bat and get on deck. Angel, he's talking about you, man. Get that bat going. Get on deck. Go swing one. Why don't you?
You know what? I think he's in first place of his fantasy league. I'm in first place of my fantasy league. We need to go
Let's not
at it
even
real
talk
quick.
about fantasy leagues, dog. Let's
I
not
know.
talk
I
about
know he's
fantasy
not.
league.
I know he's not.
Let's not talk about fantasy leagues because when it gets to playoffs, it's over. It's over. But shout out to Javier Gonzalez. He was the one that broke out the news for the Astros getting that call up for Pedro Leon. He was the one that broke the news. So congrats and shout out to him being able to break that. But before we get anything started, Angel, let them know where they can follow us, man, where they can hear us.
Absolutely. As you read the clicker, we are Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your favorite podcast. If you want up to date Astros, you can find us on our Twitter account at Full Steam Ahead, Instagram at FSA Full Steam Ahead, Threads, TikTok. Throwing some great videos in there. Just keep in touch. Subscribe. I think we're at what? How many subscribers are we at, Dina? Do you remember?
170 at this moment.
Oh, I didn't even get to 200 on that. So tell your friends, spread the word of Full Steam Ahead. I think out of all these podcasts, we're like either one or the only one that gets like talk to these players one on one, not just in the studio but at the ballpark or anything like that. So come reach out, we give you the best updates there.
Most definitely. I think we're up there, like we're saying. But phenomenal starting pitch, and that's what we're gonna start this off. And I think we gotta start it off with a tune, Angel. We gotta start off with a tune. We have to. We have to. Stay I Missed You by Lisa Loeb. I mean, she said it better than anybody right now, dude. Yusei Kikuchi.
That's his anthem.
It is his anthem. Every time he gets a strikeout in his book, at least at Minute Maid Park, they will be playing that in the stadium. If you haven't attended a game where he has pitched, which was his Astros debut on Friday night, but I mean, what a performance by this dude, man. What a performance by Kikuchi. 5 and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, 95 pitches. He finished with 62 of them being strikes. In the beginning of I think it was either the first or second inning, he gave up that 2-run homer. But if you go look at the stats behind that home run, it would have been a home run in 3 other ballparks besides Minute Maid Park. One being Yankee Stadium, the other one being Fenway Park, and I think the last one was Citizens Bank Park over there in Philadelphia. But after that home run, my gosh, he just settled in like nothing. The most strikeouts any starting pitcher has recorded in a Houston Astros uniform. He finished with 11, like I had said before, which is crazy. First game coming into Houston, which all these other Astros starting pitchers have yet to throw at least 11. Well, his Framber has been getting 10, but Kikuchi said, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna come in here, get 11 real quick." But
But Spencer Arrighetti beat him today, which will.
yes, he did, which we'll have his stat line here in a second. But Kikuchi, real quick, forced Astros to collect 8 consecutive strikeouts in a game because this dude was dealing with swing and misses in each and every one of them. He joins Justin Verlander, Jim Jachet, and Don Wilson in Astros history, which is pretty good. Pretty
Company
good.
there.
Yeah, you
Company
want to
there.
be with 26 swing and misses. And we talked about this when we were talking about Kikuchi being in an Astros uniform. He needed to utilize his changeup a little bit more. If he utilized that off-speed pitch, El Cambio, it's going to help him a lot. And sure enough, this is what the breakdown was from each pitches: 38 fastballs, 30 sliders, 13 changeups, 3 curveballs. I want to say I had the strikeouts on which pitch. I think the slider was more than anything being the put away pitch. Let me see. I had it right here. Yep, got it right here. 1 strikeout on the fastball, 7 strikeouts on the slider, and 3 strikeouts from the changeup. The curveball, he's been throwing a lot this season with the Blue Jays, but in this outing, only thrown it what I said 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
Yeah, 2.1% of the time, and the changeup being a little bit utilized more because that had an opponent batting average of 193. The Astros did their homework. They had a game plan going into this game, and I think it was very successful.
Yeah, I think many fans owe Dana Brown an apology after this outing because Yusei Kikuchi proved the numbers there. I think he was pretty phenomenal in his Astros debut, and it just shows a glimpse of what he can do. Now, do I think the Astros, they did give up 3 highly regarded prospects for Kikuchi, so I think they should try to extend them in the offseason. But if he's in a pitch like this in an Astros uniform, good things are coming for the Astros and Astros fans.
My gosh! So after one outing, you think the Astros should
No,
already extend
well,
Yusei Kikuchi?
no,
That's
no,
how
no,
you made it sound. I'm just saying. I'm just
not
saying.
no, not after this one outing, but when the trade happened,
Uh-huh.
like when the trade happened, if they gave up 3 guys for Yusei Kikuchi with no option, at the end for a rental, I would say they plan to resign him, right? So
Mhm.
I think if they ended up doing it, I think this just shows the fans of what good he could do.
Yes, and when we projected if there could be an extension for Kikuchi after this season, if everything goes where the Astros accordingly planned with him, you probably could look at the 2 to 3 year kind of extension contract. I would say, with an option being either player or club, so or even a vesting option too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Do
But
we have a comment?
oh, loving the pitching matchups for the Rangers. Steban, I think, yeah, when it comes to this pitching preview, I think it's a great matchup for the Astros set up to
We
go to
didn't like
Globe
that
Life
one.
Field. Say it again.
He's gonna like that pitching preview in a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to like it too for not throwing a lot of stats. But Ronel Blanco, on the other hand, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 89 pitches, 57 of them were strikes. I think this was a well needed bounce back start for him. And his last back to back starts, he's given up 4 earned runs. Now he's getting back on track to doing the 2 earned run kind of combo. 5 innings pitched, 89 pitches. I think they're just kind of resting him a little bit more, considering that he used to pitch six and a third. He could go 7, but not as a lot. But the last 2 starts too, he's gone maybe 4 2/3, 4 1/3. Barely getting to the 5 inning threshold, but I think this was a well needed bounce back start for him. The changeup looked really good. All the breaking balls, the command was pretty set. He did give up that home run. That was the only blow to it, and you could see the frustration whenever the cameras pound out to him. But other than that, I mean, he did his job. 2 earned runs in the book, kept the game pretty close when he was in there. Like I said, bounce back.
No, yeah, like I said earlier, like I think all 3 pitches did pretty good. So and Ronel Blanco did so as well.
Yep. Spencer Arrighetti, real quick, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, like Angel had mentioned. Spencer Arrighetti, well, before we get to Arrighetti, Kikuchi, 11 strikeouts. That was the most by any Astro starting pitcher this season. Well, like Kikuchi said, hold my beer. I think Arrighetti said the same thing. Either you can hold the grated Parmesan because it is Spaghetti Day for the Astros when it comes to his nickname. He did a fantastic job. 91 pitches going into the 6th inning. I did not think Joe Espada was going to give him the benefit of the doubt to continue pitching into that inning. 9 pitches, Angel. Finished out with 167 strikes, 20 swing and misses, setting a new career high for himself with that 12. However, taking away all the pitching stats for him, still didn't get that run production that he would hope for, like just all the other past starts that we had talked about.
Yeah, Spencer Arrighetti was feeding it this start. Unfortunate, like you said, the offense cannot produce. And the offense, literally 3 hits, 2 by Yordan Alvarez and 1 by Yanair Diaz. That was pretty much it. The bottom of the lineup did not do anything in his favor either. I think they were like, what, 0 for 19, I saw, 0 for 18, something like that.
Mhm.
And like in this game, that's not good. So, I mean, the Astros just couldn't capitalize. But like I told you earlier, that race pitching is pretty good. There's a reason why they were comfortable with selling so much like Randy Arozarena, Isaac Paredes, because they know what they have on the mound and they know the upcoming prospects they have for next season. But it just shows a glimpse of how good they are.
Yeah, I mean that rotation next year is no joke. Drew Rasmussen, um, what's the lefty's name? McClanahan,
McCullers.
Shane McClanahan, correct? Yeah, Shane Bass pitch, Shane Boss, whatever, Baz. That's the last name, but he's a Houstonian like we had mentioned in our preview last episode. He came in here and that was probably their best starter, I would say, in their rotation.
Yeah.
Nothing against Zach Little because he did really good, and the pitcher today, but they're missing a lot of their starting pieces in that rotation, and they came to Houston picking up a series win. Even the bullpen kind of held it down for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like Angel had said, the offensive production that last game in the series finale, only getting 3 hits. Like he said, 2 hits from Jordan Alvarez, one from Yainer Diaz. Um, it's kind of like they're in a slump right now. Like we were talking in the beginning of the episode. Pirate series, they scored 10 runs. In the Dodgers series as well, double-digit runs. In this Rays series, they only scored a total of 4 runs in 3 games. Getting shut out in this series finale, only getting 1 run in game 2, courtesy of John Singleton. And then the first game getting 3, was it 3?
3 wins.
3 runs. Yes, correct. Sorry, my math's not there. But let's kind of dive deep why the slump is there. Why is the offense not showing up? Why is the production for runners in scoring position not there as well? Well, it starts with the top of the lineup. Jose Altuve, last 7 games, 231 batting average. Alex Bregman, 143 batting average in his last 7 games. And then let's get to the mid part. Jordan Alvarez is hitting 300 in his last 7 games. Of course, Yander Diaz almost is hitting 400 in the last 7 games. But let's get to the 5 spot, down, kind of almost down to the order. John Singleton, 217 his last 7 games. This is where I'm going to kind of come in with the strikeouts. 9 strikeouts in his last 7 games. And then lastly, I'll end it with Jeremy Pena. He's hitting 77.077 in his last 7 games with 11 strikeouts. This is where that comment came in earlier from Esteban saying Pena needs to play cricket the way he swings at everything in the dirt. He's been having a little bit non-great play discipline at the moment, but let's just keep on diving into these numbers. Guys batting from the 5 spot to the 9 hole, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're talking about guys like John Singleton, Jeremy Pena, Jake Myers, either Mauricio Dubon, Victor Caratini, Trey Cabbage. I'm not even going to put Pedro Leon in there because it's barely his second game that he got to play. Friday, 5 for 18. Pena had a double. John Singleton and Jake Myers had an RBI each. 5 strikeouts from 5 through 9. Doesn't get better for Saturday. Saturday, 2 for 15. Like I said, John Singleton was the only one that scored that 1 run in that game with a home run, RBI, 6 strikeouts. And then, Angel, like you were saying, 0 for 18. It wasn't 18. It felt like 18, but it wasn't 0 for 18. 0 for 14 from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of that batting order with 8 strikeouts. Put the numbers together, total 7 for 37. That's a 189 combined batting average. 1 double, 1 home run. That's only 2 extra base hits, 3 RBIs, 19 strikeouts, 1-9. As a team, 26 strikeouts. So the production, the discipline, swinging out of the zone, it just hasn't been there for the Astros in this series specifically.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of left you shocked. Saturday, real quick, runners in scoring position, 0 for 1. Left on base, there was only 3 left on base. Like you were saying, you kind of tip your cap to the Rays bullpen and the starter, Zach Little. I mean, they did their job, and they kept the Astros off the base. Sunday, a little bit different story. 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. There were 6 men left on base. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening with them. Esteban wants to continue. I'm starting to wonder if Loperfido was the spark the team needed in the dugout. Possibly, maybe. I don't have a definitive answer to that because I really don't have a definitive answer, Angel. I mean, do you have one for that specific reason? I know every team that the Astros had through the years, you had a guy like Garrett Stubbs that was that energy guy, Jake Marisnick. I mean, what's your thoughts? What could be the possibility that these guys are having a slump right now, at least offensively?
A prime example of, kind of going through the ups and downs of baseball is the Rays of last year. Look how they started on fire, going into the All-Star break. They had that consecutive win streak for so long to start the season, and then after that, they kind of took a back turn and just like we're struggling to win games. And I think this is a thing that every team goes in baseball. The Yankees this year too started off really hot, and then they ended up losing like 6 of their last 14 games. I mean, like they were like 6 for 14 during a long stretch. I think the Astros are just in the slumps as a team. Again, it happens in baseball. the only way you can get out of it is by keep chipping away when you get the opportunities, and make every at bat count. Back up your pitching when they have a good outing, and I think he actually did a poor job on this one. But against the Rangers, that's a team that they've shown that they have success in the past, and it's a team they know very well. So I think if they can play good against the Rangers, I think it can go a long way from continuing to climb out that deep trench of slumping as a team.
I will say this now, thinking about it a little bit more, it just hurts for the Astros at this moment not having Kyle Tucker right there. That just
Yeah,
shows right there because
yeah.
Yander Diaz has been
I
swinging the
think
bat
that's the
really well.
main reason.
Yeah, Jordan Alvarez being in that 3 spot, Yonder being in the 4, possibility that could switch with him and Tucker whenever Tucker comes back to Houston. But not having Kyle Tucker right now in that spot, especially for the 5 all the way down of that lineup, it just shows it's kind of like Singleton has done a good job. Jerry Pena has done a good job holding kind of the fort in that part. Even Jake Myers, you could throw him in there as well. They've done the job enough, but now you're kind of seeing the fatigue. You're starting to see the mental part of the game. Like you're saying, a little bit of slumps. Maybe they play the Rangers, it could be a different story. But not having a guy like Kyle Tucker in that lineup right now, that's what's hurting, I say, for that middle part of the order.
However, Yanier Diaz is doing a really good job in that 4 spot, so I'm not gonna
Definitely.
like. But like you're right, just the addition of another key bat in the lineup, and honestly, kind of like the backtrack that Chas McCormick has gone this season. I think it's like kind of costing the Astros. You saw Chas McCormick take a step up last year, and he started off decent, and then he got hurt, and after that, he hasn't been able to find it. Mauricio Dubon too was hitting the ball last year. This year's been kind of hard to find it. It's just been guys that the Astros are going to rely on to the season. Maybe that's why they didn't grab a bat in the offseason, because they're like, we have, Chas McCormick's coming up, Jake Myers should be coming up, just because of what they showed last year. Now, that's kind of like what they're seeing, just because like the guys that they took a risk on, the guys that they bet on to produce have not been producing. Now, do I still think the Astros failed in not getting a bet at the plate? I mean, the way the price, the way the negotiations happen, the way that the amount of assets, I guess you could say, prospects that the other teams were giving up, I don't think it would have benefited the Astros. I think they're just gonna roll with the punches and like hope that they get Kyle Tucker back. Alex Bregman starts to hit the ball again. Jeremy Pena finds it at the plate. Jake Myers continues to put on the few chances of success he's gotten. And honestly, I think a guy that looked good that I think should get a little bit more chances is Pedro Leon. I mean, I think he kind of feels that, I guess, Joey Looper fielder spot. I think with a few more at bats, he can get comfortable and start producing for the Astros.
Yeah, that's why I gave that grade when we're talking about like a little grade system when it came to the acquisitions that the Astros had made. And I gave it a B minus, because just the fact that I honestly thought they were missing that bat. You can't give John Singleton a lot of days off. You can't give Mauricio Dubon some days off, which Mauricio Dubon is getting the days off at this moment. I've got his last 7 games marks right here. 1 for 15. You want to give me a guess where he has that one hit from? From which game?
Tell me.
I think it was the Pirates series, if I'm not mistaken. It was that home run, that 2-run home
run.
run.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's a 67 batting average. Last 15 games, 83 batting average. So at the moment, too, he's been struggling at the plate. Of course, I think John Singleton might need some days off to get some rest. I thought that was why it was crucial for the Astros trying to get a bat at the deadline. Either, like I was telling you, maybe a Josh Bell. The way he hasn't been swinging as of late, this season for the Marlins hasn't been great, but I think it just gives John Singleton a breather. It gives Mauricio Dubon a breather. I think it just benefits getting him some at bats too, and he's done a really good job with the Diamondbacks. I don't know if you saw his first game; he had 2 home runs, each side of the plate.
Yeah,
so
I did see that.
Yeah, it's kind of tough where they're at right now. But like you were saying, maybe there's some optimism going into this Rangers series, because they've seen the Rangers plenty of times. The pitcher that I'm going to announce in this pitching preview, they've seen this is going to be their 4th start against them. So maybe it's a benefit for the Astros coming into this series against the Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I think this series against the Rangers is one they can change their luck around. But let's go ahead and move on to the Carne Asada. And like Lorenzo said, the starting pitchers were phenomenal. That's why they're going to be part of the Carne Asada. I am going to read the stats just in case for those, just in case you missed it earlier when Lorenzo was coming in. Like I know we had some people struggling in at late, but start off with Yusei Kikuchi, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. At that point, like Lorenzo said earlier, that was after his start. At that point, was the most strikeouts an Astro had in the season. Ronel Blanco followed that up with 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Pretty good outing. Like Lorenzo said earlier, he threw 89 pitches. Spencer Arrighetti, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, earned run, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, which now ranks as the most strikeouts by an Astro this season. And the Astros pitchers combined, so this includes bullpen pieces as well. The Astros pitchers have reached double-digit strikeouts in 10 consecutive games, which ties the second longest streak in MLB history. So, I mean, the Astros pitchers have been doing what they had to be doing, and it's just kind of the offense that needs to carry on, carry on from
How to
there.
do their job, basically.
Yeah. And if the Astros continue this streak, the MLB record is 13 straight games with 10 plus strikeouts, set by the Guardians franchise from August 3rd through August 17th back in 2017.
That wasn't the Guardians there. That was the Indians.
It was the Indians.
That right. Let's get that
but
right.
They are the Guardians now. Another person who I said has to be Pedro Leon. You have to give it up to the Rook. He went 1 for 5 with a walk, a hit. According to Elias, he became the 52nd player in Astros history to collect a hit in their first career plate appearance and first to do it since Corey Joke singled in his first plate appearance on March 31st, 2023 versus the White Sox, which is now his current team.
Baseball's it's a funny game. It's a funny game.
And he also got a stolen base in this at bat too. He walked and put himself in scoring position, but like you said, the Astros couldn't really do much offensively. But you see, that's what I like about Pedro Leon's game. When he gets on base, he does have that speed that can, if he hits a single, put himself in runners in scoring position and help the Astros score runs there.
Did you see the arm that he unloaded?
91.1 miles per hour.
I'm telling you, I told you on the last episode, don't just see the power numbers and the offensive production. The kid got a gun. The kid got an arm over there in the outfield. So I think that's really beneficial for the Astros too at this moment. A
great arm right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, Yordan Alvarez. He's one of the few Astros that got a hit every game this series. Yonny Diaz snapped his hitting streak on the second game against the Tampa Bay Rays. He went 5 for 11 with a double. Yordan Alvarez has hit 141 career home runs and is looking to become just the 10th player in franchise history to reach 150 as an Astro. So he sits at 149. He hasn't hit a home run since June 21st. So
June 21st? No.
Yeah. I'm sorry, July 3rd. July 21st, my bad.
I was about to say, I was like, I thought he had a home that broke StatCast over there in Seattle.
Yeah, July 21st, my bad. I apologize for that.
Man, that's a long. We're talking about August 4th here, man.
I mean, for Yordan Alvarez, that is something that's a long time, though.
Yeah, I mean, that is a long time, June, or even, July 21st.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. Do we have an anthem for this Carne Asada?
Ooh, I don't know. You got a song in mind or what?
I think so.
Put it on.
I mean, if it's perfect, it deserves to have Yusei Kikuchi.
Well, he's hosting it, right? So let's do it.
He's hosting it. I mean, the dude did a really great job. Like I said, I think he honestly deserves to host this Carne Asada.
Let's do it. I'll put the anthem on.
I already put the anthem.
I like it.
But great Carne Asada as always. The last Silver Boot series, like we said, for the Astros. As of right now, the series between these two teams, the record is 5-5. Astros have 5 wins. Rangers have 5 wins. Right here, it's kind of like for all the marbles to see who gets the Silver Boot. I think the Astros have had the Silver Boot for how many years now?
I don't know.
Do you have it on the top of your head?
I do not.
I don't either. But
this series is important because we saw what happened last year. Rangers Astros tied, but Astros won more games against the Rangers and turned out to be the difference.
Yeah, and I mean the Astros had all the opportunities at home, but of course we're not going to go down that path to say, man, I'm trying to see who was. It's called the Texas Lottery as a sponsor now. Do you know that?
Is it? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Texas Lottery name presenting sponsor of Silver Boot Series between Rangers and Astros. I'm trying to
Wow.
figure out. I mean, by all means, if anybody wants to help us out to figure out how long the Astros have had the Silver Boot, by all means, put it in the chat. But I want to say the Astros have had it since 2017, 2018.
I mean, sounds about right.
I don't, like I said, I don't have the number. I'm still trying to figure it out, but let's continue on. Like you're saying, though, I mean, this is going to be a very crucial series for the Astros. Right now, the Mariners did lose the series finale against the Phillies, but they are a game up on the Astros due to percentage points. And that's kind of the part that we were talking about in the beginning of this episode, was that it's a frustrating series because the Astros had an opportunity to at least win the series and be up due to percentage points against the Mariners. And they just couldn't get it done. I mean, like we said, that's a slump. It's part of baseball. But this series against the Rangers specifically over there in Globe Life Field, which the last time they went to Globe Life, they didn't win that series. But the Rangers look like a different team right now.
Yeah, they've been struggling to get wins too. I mean, no, they've been pretty good as of late, I believe. No,
They dropped the series to the Boston Red Sox, I believe.
oh, did they?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get that pitching preview going. Texas Rangers 53-59 record. 46 in their last 10 games. Like I had said, they dropped the series against the Boston Red Sox at home. They're third in the AL West, 5.5 games back from the division as well. Monday, this is the only matchup the Astros and Rangers have so far. I'll give the rest in a minute, but 7:05 start time. Hunter Brown is on for the Astros, 9.7 record with a 4.11 ERA. He'll be going against Andrew Heaney with a 4.12 record with a 4.12 ERA. Wow, 4-12 record with a 4.12 ERA. Who would have thought? So it's a battle of the four ERAs right here, trying to see who can get their ERA down at least closer to a 3. Hunter Brown, last start versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 102 pitches, 67 of them were strikes. He did give up that 2-run homer to Michael A. Taylor. He was trying to stretch it out as much as possible, but just you seen fatigue kind of started set in. The command started to get a little shaky at the end for Hunter Brown. So his last start against the Rangers at home, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. This will be his third start going against the Rangers. He has a 1-run record. Obviously, that first start over there at Texas, he did lose that game. And pitching in Houston against the Rangers, he did win that game. So it's been a different Hunter Brown. I'm very interested to see how he's going to bounce back from his last start to this start. Remember that start against the Minnesota Twins. He did give up, I think, 6 runs. And then the next start he had pitched, he only gave up 1 run. So I'm kind of expecting something similar to that, especially against a divisional rival like the Rangers.
Yeah, I think Hunter Brown has been the most consistent, one of the most consistent pitchers for the Astros. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he can bounce it out, but this would be a tough matchup because this is a team that he has seen a lot, that they've seen him too. So they kind of get a feel for the pitches, but an adjustment will be needed to be good against the Rangers.
Yeah, I think the first game is going to be the tone for both teams, I would say, for at least for each starting pitcher as well. And Andrew Heaney's going for the Rangers. Last start versus the Cardinals, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. His last start against the Houston Astros, you got to go back to July 12th. He did pick up the loss in that game. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them being earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. 84 pitches were thrown, 52 of them were strikes. This will be Andrew Heaney's 4th start against the Houston Astros this season.
What's his combined numbers?
Combined the last 3 starts, he is 0-2 with a 7.30 ERA, 12 1/3, 13 hits, 10 earned runs, 9 walks, 8 strikeouts. Home runs, Yordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman, and Jake Myers. Great opportunity for Yordan to get back on the board, at least get an extra base hit, sending that long ball to right.
And get that 150.
Yeah, that 150 as well. But Heaney giving up 10 earned runs in his last two starts. He's thrown around the 80 to 89 pitch show right there in three of his last five starts. So I'm very curious to see how Bruce Bochy is going to manage this one. If the Astros obviously could get to that starting pitcher, get him out of that game, get to that bullpen early, that's what you would want for the Astros offense to do. But at this moment, I mean, you just don't know what the lineup's going to look like going into this game against Heaney.
Yeah, I think the way that I think it's a good opportunity for Pedro Leon to get some at bats. I really do think so. Especially the way how big Globe Life Field is. You gotta get some rain out there, and then this is a good person to get some rhythm in. But I mean, I like the Astros' chances. A guy they've seen, they feel comfortable going against. They have a feel for his pitches, but so do the Rangers on the other side. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like honestly, I'm saying this now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a high scoring game, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's a pitcher's duel, just because these pitchers know that this is a team that knows what they got, and they're gonna try to change that up.
Most definitely. It could go either way, just depending on how the offense for both sides is going to do against this type of pitching. But Tuesday, 7:05 start time as well. Framber Valdez, 10-5 record with a 3.56 ERA. The Rangers have yet to determine who's going to pitch in that game on Tuesday. But let's go with Valdez real quick. The last start versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, 10 strikeouts. He has yet to face the Rangers this year. When I was looking at the numbers, I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, not even one start against them. But career wise, the numbers, it's really good. I believe 7.5 record, 2.90 ERA with an 89 strikeouts. Last year against the Rangers, though, it kind of looked like Texas had a number on them. 1-2 record, 4.32 ERA, giving up 12 earned runs and 12 strikeouts in those three starts. Back to back starts with 10 strikeouts. That is a very positive thing to see. If you remember that Pittsburgh series, I think of the second inning, he was just getting hit off of, and then after that, he only gave up one hit all the way to the sixth inning. So, Angel, I'm gonna ask you. I mean, what are you looking for Framber Valdez? Because this is your guy that you pick for the Astros second half hero. What are you looking for him going into this series against a divisional rival?
Yeah, I'm looking for him to do more of the same what he's already been doing. I don't know if you saw that sinker against the Pirates, but that sinker was moving from side to side. It looked really good. Like that second inning, he just got into trouble, started walking, like not walking guys, but started leaving that sinker out over the plate. And I think that's kind of what's been affecting him. So, I mean, if he did a good job of limiting the walks against Pittsburgh, I think if he does that again against Rangers, has a little bit more control of that sinker, everything should be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. If he gets that sinker going, obviously the off speed he has as well. It should not matter to Framber Valdez when it comes to these type of games. I think the last game he pitched against the Rangers, not including the postseason, was that game when Marcus Simeon had hit a home run off of him and all the dramatic part
Yeah, you
of
got
the
to flush.
game. Yeah, and of course, if the Rangers know how to get him out of his groove, all they have to do is just get into his head. But Framber Valdez does a really good job too. At least the second part of the season so far, grinding the innings out, even though they put a 4 spot on the inning, he's done a really good job bouncing back and being able to regroup and make himself calm for the next couple of innings.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, Rangers, nothing on Tuesday, and it goes for the same thing on Wednesday. They have yet to announce a starting pitcher, but 135 start time. Yusei Kikuchi, 4.9 record, 4.67 ERA. I'm not going to go over his stats that I've already said because Angel had said on the Carne Asada. I already said in the beginning of the episode. And if you haven't gone, check it out whenever we put it up there. But we'll do talk about his last start. It was against the Texas Rangers not too long ago, July 26th. 4 2/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. You got a lot of lefties in that lineup, I would say, for Texas. Corey Seager's one of them. Josh Smith is another. Nathaniel Lowe, Leota Tavares. So that's 4 out of the 9 in that starting lineup. I don't know if Bruce Bochy is going to make an adjustment and put some righties in there. I know Robbie Grossman is a switch hitter for them, and he could play the outfield. Josh Jung too is back with the Rangers, so maybe you don't see Josh Smith in the lineup. But I'm very interested to see how Kikuchi is going to be in this position against the Rangers, knowing that he already pitched against them the last time. I'm pretty sure he's going to go back and look at the footage, look at what he did wrong, what he did right.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for this start because, again, like I said earlier, I think last podcast is that The Blue Jays have a different game plan. The Astros have a different game plan, and you saw it put into work in his last start with utilizing his changeup a little bit more. I think it's gonna be more of the same here. I think now that they've seen a start in person from Yusei Kikuchi, I think that's what they're gonna work with. Maybe utilize the changeup a little bit more, or start to work with the slider and fastball a little bit. So I'm actually sorry for this start. I think this is gonna be a bounce back start for Yusei Kikuchi.
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess
very
you
excited about the start as well, like you're mentioning, because this is kind of like redeeming yourself and getting a second chance against a team that kind of beat you around 4 2/3, 5 earned runs. I want to say that was his last start over there in Toronto too. So it was not a
crazy.
pretty, ending to leave his tenure over there in the six. So, like I said, it'll be an interesting start. I know a lot of Ranger fans, whenever the trade had happened, at least I've seen on social, a lot of Ranger fans were excited about the move that the Astros gave away the prospects, and obviously the Astros receiving Kikuchi. So it's kind of like, well, we'll have to see what happens in this matchup. See if Kikuchi does a really good job, or vice versa.
They might not be so excited a- after that start with Kikuchi.
We'll have to see. I think this is going to be a fun series, though. Like
It always
Stefan
is.
had said in the beginning of the podcast, this is a favorable series for the Astros, at least pitching wise. I mean, Kikuchi, Framber Valdez, and Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown's really been really good consistently. Framber Valdez has looked really good in the second half, and then Kikuchi after that start, I'm pretty sure a lot of Astro fans are excited to see how his second start will look, especially against the Texas Rangers.
Didn't Max Scherzer get hurt for the Rangers?
Yes, I think he's on the IL with arm fatigue, if I'm not
Mm,
mistaken.
okay.
So I think even John Gray's on the IL. They're dealing with a lot of starting pitchers on their IL from their rotation so far. So that's just part of the game. It's like the same thing the Astros are going through right now.
Yeah, I'm looking for Jacob DeGrom. Like, is there any update on him too?
No, I think he's only thrown a bullpen so far. I don't think he's on rehab assignments yet.
Yeah. Okay. I also know that they're getting Tyler Mayhew s- back pretty
Tyler
soon.
Molly,
Molly, there you go. That's a weird last
Cody
name.
Bradford, I think is coming back for the Rangers too. So they're getting some reinforcements back. It's just, can the Rangers try to win enough games to make a push at least for that last wild card spot or even the division?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, especially the Astros too. I mean, they're gonna have to grind out some games too. Especially like Kyle Tucker's still not back, and let's start with him from the train station. Uh, you know, like I told you earlier and a few podcasts ago, I didn't think Kyle Tucker was gonna be out this long. Uh, I mean, yes, he was hurt, right? But I mean, I'm sure we both got in hit with like on the shin like a few times playing baseball. I mean, it hurts, but you're used to being like able to come back from it like either a week or two. But it's been a little bit more concerning. But we do have some updates from Kyle Tucker. This is per Brian McTaggart. He's going to do some stuff inside today. We're having a conversation with him about how we're going to handle the next couple of weeks. I think he's getting close for us to push him out there to start doing more active, more intense stuff. We're going to sit down uh, with him and talk about maybe staying back for the first half of the trip so we can do some intensive stuff here, or do we want him to go to Arlington and do it all that on turf? We're not sure which direction we want to go. I believe I will show Spotter's words as well. Uh, and then China Rome asked if Tucker could return in August, and this is what Spotter replied: "Would be great. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to happen. It'll be fantastic. It's kind of a day to day, so see how he feels. It'll be too aggressive to say we'll have him by the end of the month. It's a possibility." I would say the part that it'll be too aggressive to say we'll have him back kind of gives me hopes that he's probably not going to be back by the end of August, probably looming a September call up, I would say.
Yeah, it's shocking. Honestly, I did not see honestly looking like it could be either at the end of August or in early September. I'm still shocked and I can't even speak right now because it's crazy. It's already 2 months.
Yeah.
The It's been that hasn't been playing on the field. June 3rd was the day that he got knocked out of that game against the Tigers. I think it was the Tigers. And for him not to be on the field yet, I mean, that's kind of shocking. But like I had mentioned before, I think you just got to wait and have him for 100%. That's the only way because you rather have a healthy 100% Kyle Tucker than a 75, 60, them type of percentage on him. So I kind of like though too that he needs to come back already. Like I was telling you earlier in the show, I mean the offense just was not there. If Kyle Tucker was on the field, it could have been a different story. Maybe that 1-0 game against the Rays, maybe the Astros could have won 2-1. Like that's the part that it's kind of frustrating not to see him in the lineup, especially when guys already have done their jobs and they can't continue on the whole time. Like John Singleton and Jerry Pena for like the example right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's so surprising to me. Like, I think when this injury first happened, we are kind of saying like 2 weeks. It'll be
Mhm.
a stretch for three, and then now 2 months now, and it's still kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, but there is good news. Justin Verlander on Sunday he threw a live bullpen today against hitters Armando Diaz and Trey Cabbage. Per China Rome, Justin Verlander was pleased after a 35 pitch live BP. He touched 94 miles per hour and felt good. Verlander said he'll need 2 rehab starts before coming back to the major league rotation. But after this, and then this is for me, and then after these two good, I mean, past two bullpen assignments, I think Verlander's in a good spot to start those rehab assignments soon. Uh, once we know exactly when the rehab assignment will start, we'll let y'all guys know. We'll update you on social media. But it's a really good a really good thing that Justin Verlander's almost back. I think he is going to be coming back before the end of August. I would say late August. I would say late August timeline.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like you were saying, it's kind of good that he's coming back already, feeling 100% too as well. Not having no discomfort in his neck. That's another positive sign. Rehab assignments, though, he did say, like you were saying too, that he's going to need. So you're probably not seeing him maybe late August, I would say, for the Astros.
And then Luis Garcia had a setback. I don't know if you saw that.
Mhm.
So Luis Garcia felt soreness on his elbow Friday. The initial plan was for Garcia to go on a rehab assignment on Sunday. So he was really, really, really close to be coming back.
Yeah.
I would say mid August, but the Astros will hold off of him from starting that rehab assignment because of that elbow soreness. On Saturday, per China Rome, Luis Garcia walked in feeling better. Joe Espada said the team took imaging on his elbow and everything is fine. Garcia still isn't throwing, but it is relatively good news. I think that's a real like punch in the gut for the Astros, for Luis Garcia, and for Luis Garcia himself, like being one step away from coming back, starting the rehab assignment, and then him feeling elbow soreness kind of pushed everything back. I think he'll come back when Kyle Tucker comes back now,
You think so?
or like in September.
I'm pretty sure he'll throw one more bullpen and then the Astros determine what it's like and then he'll go on a rehab.
You see, but if
But yeah.
he's not throwing, it might push it
Well,
back a
that's what
little
I'm
bit.
saying. Like whenever he's ready to throw, he's not going to go automatically to a rehab assignment. He'll
Yeah,
probably throw another bullpen and then determine if he's ready to go on a rehab after his bullpen or the
yeah,
days after.
yeah, absolutely. And then I don't think this is news to everybody. I think we kind of figured, but Lance McCullers Jr. is not coming back this season. Joe Spa said it's safe to say that Lance McCullers Jr. will not pitch this season. I think that was expected. After he got that setback earlier in the year, I think that was kind of the expectation.
Yep. Now you just got to hope that he just does his rehab going into next season and he's fully healthy.
Absolutely. And then Rafael Montero's cleared waivers under the Astros at his name for assignment. He accepted his assignment back to AAA, which when we were there, when Donna Brown talked about it, Donna Brown mentioned that the door could be open for Rafael Montero to come back into the bullpen. Having him in AAA gives him opportunities to work on some things that he can't work in the major league level. Because no one cares, honestly, for Rafael Montero, no one really cares how well he does out there. It's more of uh, having a feel for his pitches, looking, to work on things. If he can get a feel on his pitches, feel more command on it, do what he has to do, I think he should be back in the major league roster in no time.
It says a lot about this organization. Think about it. Two veterans like Jose Abreu, who accepted the minor league assignment to go to AAA and try to, fix his swing and all this other stuff. Go to West Palm actually. And then same goes for Rafael Montero. This clubhouse is special. They have a special bond with one another. I know Rafael Montero, specifically with the bullpen, even with some of the Astros starters, it just shows a lot what the clubhouse is like. It shows it's very comfortable to be in. It's very caring. It's a brotherhood. That's how I would say it.
Absolutely. I think everybody in that club has a high respect for each and every one of the players there. I think each player has their back, and that's pretty much seen throughout the clubhouse for the Astros. And I know you mentioned earlier about the first base position, giving John Singleton a little breather. Well, Danner Brown knows your concern because on Sports Talk he was asked about the first base position. And this is what he had to say. He said, "We may have to call a young guy from the minor leagues." Again, this was in regard to playing first base. He mentioned names like Shea Whitcomb or Zach DeZenzo as possibilities to give John Singleton a break from first base. What do you think about that? Oh, and we have a comment that says, "Bring on a minor leaguer to give Singleton a rest." DeZenzo is who Tony Yayo is going after.
Yeah, I think it's a good option. Shea Whitcomb has really done good too in the minor leagues so far this season. Same goes for Zach DeZenzo, man. He's really made an impact as soon as he stepped foot over there at Constellation Field in Sugarland. He's really made an impact at third base, hitting the ball really well offensively. I has he played first base though?
Let me check.
Check on that. I'm gonna check on Shea Whitcomb, but at least having one of those minor leaguers is gonna help the Astros give those veterans a day off, a breather. Because when you're in a slump, there's days that you just might need a day off just to clear your mind, clear your head, just to relax at least a day. That's what I'm just saying. At least a day. Because baseball can play a toll in the brain. And the ways that, like I said, the way Zach DeCenzo has been hitting as of late for the Space Cowboys, you can honestly wait all the way to September because they expand the rosters. But it looks like Dana Brown might just go on and go ahead and bring them out. Like bring one of these guys in and put them in the corner. How you figured it out for DeZenzo?
No, I'm trying to find it right now.
Let me see. I have Shea Whitcomb right here for Triple A this year. 295 batting average, 23 home runs, 84 RBIs, 26 stolen bases, and a 920 OPS. Wow, that is really great. Really, like I said, I mean he's really done really good this season. Offensively,
Yeah.
now looking at the numbers defensively for the Space Cowboys, he's had 28 games at third base. He's only had one game at first base. And I want to say,
who's this?
Huh?
Who are you talking about?
Shea Whitcomb. This is Shea Whitcomb. And the first base, he's only played one time, and that was just recently.
Okay. For Zach DeZenzo, he's played 27 games at third base, played 4 games at first base.
So they're looking like they're trying to get both of them to get some reps over there, either for one of them to go up. And I honestly think I would honestly give Shade Whitcomb that time to go up for the Astros right now. Nothing against Zach DeCenzo. I think he needs to continue just developing. But the way Shea Whitcomb has been playing this year at AAA, I think he deserves to be getting his contract accepted and playing over here at the big league level.
Yeah, and I mean, Zach DeCenzo's playing well too. He's batting .310 with 6 home runs, 24 RBIs, 44 hits, and a .919 on base percentage. So I mean, both guys could be equally as reliable out there for the Astros.
Yeah. Got another comment from Tony. Kendall Graveman coming back. Have yet to hear anything on him. I think the last time I've seen was him just playing catch in the outfield. I don't know how long ago it was.
I don't think I've seen him in the clubhouse either.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in the clubhouse in a while either. But the last time I saw him was when he was playing catch in the outfield. So, no update on him. But if we do get an update, for sure, you already know we'll be the guys to give you the news.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Before we let Chuck go, let's go ahead and move on to Around the Horn. I don't know if you saw Joan Durant's new pitching song, but it's pretty fire.
It's a new pitching song.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, look at the Twins social media Search of Joan Duran, and you'll see it there. It's pretty fire. Although I do like the other one he liked better, but you know, it's still good.
The other one's way better, I think.
And then lastly, Shohei Ohtani, 33 season already happening. He has 33 home runs, 31 stolen bases. I think he easily gets the 40-40 season.
Oh, definitely. He's been. I think this is the season he's stolen more bases though in his career, if I'm not mistaken.
I think sounds about right. Well, I mean, he doesn't have to worry about it because he's not pitching, so he's just gonna focus solely on offense.
Not just that, but I mean, he's been hitting in the leadoff spot too, which is very interesting. I did find out on the Silver Boot Series, the Astros have won the trophy in each of the last 7 seasons since 2017.
Okay, nice.
Since 2017, the Astros have had the Silver Boot at Minute Maid Park. Lastly, Tony need to sweep the Rangers and effectively end their season. That is an Astro fan talking about taking down a divisional rival right there. But that is the end of our show. Angel, I mean, what a good show. I would say great audience that we had before the work week as follows, like Angel had said with the ticker, social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, FSA Full Steam Ahead. You can find us there, see all the reels, see all the videos, all the content that we're putting out, as well as from the games, in-game analysis and all that stuff, as well as the podcast platforms from Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Angel, you got anything before we sign off?
No, just thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with us, joining us for this Sunday podcast, and appreciate our support. I'll see you around.
Yes, we will end it with this.
Gotta love it.
You seen Justin Verlander, right?
Yeah, I did.
Just reading his lips and everything. I think Yusei Kikuchi is going to be a really, I'd say maybe a fan favorite, but I think the team's liking him already. He's already fitting in with the club, as I would say.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But that is the end of our show. Like we said, y'all have a good start to y'all week. Go kick Monday's butt. And we'll give you the recap of that Rangers series and get that preview. I don't have the schedule in front of me right now, but we'll give you that preview, whatever team the Astros are playing after the Rangers. Stay safe. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.